to another episode of The Chaotic Minds. I'm your host, Devontae Ewing, aka DJ Thunderbase, and I am joined today with my co-hosts.
Hello, guys, girls, and squirrels. My name's Henry Motney, also known as Mayhem.
Squirrel.
Yes.
Somebody's
right.
being squirrely.
A little too squirrely. Go on.
Hello, all you out there on the interwebs. I am Dark Trooper coming from you live from secret location, aka my couch.
I'm so many layers. The now a barbecue man, apparently. But
Barbecue.
Oh my god.
And I am the
It's
Supreme
perfect.
Llama Overlord.
You're horrible.
If you want to see mayhem live again, I need a single sock from a llama wearing sunglasses, and make sure it's flavored correctly.
Wait, what?
I can't believe he had a recording, but it wasn't loud enough. It was funny. Hey, Dominant Visions. Introduce yourself, my brother.
Good evening, everybody. I am Dom, aka Dominant Visions, and here for you tonight. Here we go.
So, Thunderbase.
Yes, and we are going to be getting things started off like how we always do with our relationships with Mayhem Heartway.
Hello, guys, girls, and squirrels.
Squirrel.
Right. So, in relationships, just remember, communication is key. When it comes to relationships of friendships, relationships, and or workships and such, even acquaintanceship, just you meeting somebody and happen to note them every once in a while and come across their gaze every once in a while and not know too much about. Communicate accordingly when it is necessary. Please don't be just going off on the bad mouth on somebody, disrespecting, being rude, or disrespectful in any kind of manner. Besides that, I'd like to talk about when it comes to inspiration to friends at times, looking up to somebody and or being somebody that people look up to. When you're looking up to somebody, remember not to go full throttle trying to imitate them or copy them. You may not be exactly like them. You may get injured in the process. Please be mindful of those kind of things. I've had many friends and apprentices and people that looked up to me and couldn't do what I could do, not realizing it took me years and years of conditioning, training, and whatever else just to make me who I am and what I do. But for the average person, no, I can't do that. Now, for the opposite end of being the one that is inspiring to others, be mindful, good with your communications as well, to let them know when not to and when to say or do something. And just, hey guys, by the way, if you see me doing all these crazy weightliftings or this cool parkour or skateboarding or anything such, you're not going to get the first try. It took years of practice and dedication. There are those rare few people in the world that are very skilled naturally. I may be one of them in certain manners, not in everything, but most things. There's other people out in the world that aren't. It takes repetition. So be mindful with these people. Let them know, hey, by the way, there's pros and cons to this stuff looking up to me. I know at times what it does, it makes them look down at a time. They won't be seemingly as respectful as first, but then you find out what true friendship is, where you show respect to one another. I've looked up to people for many of my life, but now I have people that look up to me, and I have to be mindful of not trying to let it get to me. The same thing goes for other people. Don't have a God complex thing. Don't get all in the hype. Not a good idea. But on that note, does anybody have anything they would like to say, suggest, or throw in there for relationship advice before we shift over to the next segment?
Imitation is the ultimate form of flattery, but the problem is that there are people who do take that too far. There are men and women who look at other people's lives and try to imitate them in every way, shape, and form. To the
Damn.
changing their haircut to look like them, to just doing things that just imitates the person. The problem is that the problem is the law just is not caught up to the point in which that kind of thing is outlawed or even understood, because the law the thing is, most people don't understand is that they think that the law can do whatever, that the law is absolute. The problem is the police can only do what is in the law. So if you call the police and they come out and it's a certain situations, they can't do anything. They legally cannot do anything.
Depends on.
Even if they know for a fact that this person is doing something sketchy and wrong, they still can't do anything because it's illegal. Because unless they're breaking the law, they can't do anything. So the problem is with a lot of these people is they imitate these people. Like, they change their hairstyle, they start drinking the same kind of coffee, they just they try to act like them instead of being themselves.
They imitate them almost to a T, trying to wonder how they became who they are, so they want to be like them.
Yeah. But the problem is that you can't be like them because
everybody's different.
Everybody's different. And the problem is that if you cannot be, it's clearly obvious that some of the people in question that I'm talking about are very mentally ill, and they just can't accept the fact that they are unique in their own way, and they can't, unless they can see that for themselves, they can't change themselves. They can't grow as a person because they just can't see that they are just as unique as the person they're trying to imitate. But when you try to imitate somebody, you're not imitating them. You're just trying to escape yourself.
Yeah, there is that. That's why you need the person that you are. Damn it, whoever is doing that. When someone's trying to imitate you and you know of it, like I stated, it's good to let them know, hey man, not always a good idea to do this. Sometimes it's onlooking from a distance though, and the guy doesn't even know that they're being imitated. Or a movie and such. Don't be trying to do that, please.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like someone trying to imitate you to the extent that they're trying to take over your life.
I've had that happen too many times in my life.
And it's terrifying.
It is. It's weird.
And it's weird.
You try to act exactly like it, then try to steal the lady you're with at the time, or try to be your friend and then try to steal your life and then hope that you die and they can take over one day and be you now. I had that with a few different guys personally that I remember, and then a couple other ones later on. One was a family member. It was very upsetting. But I believe that'll be enough for relationships, unless somebody else had relationship advice. But if not, I think it's a little bit time for lore.
It is time for our lore section.
Hello, my true believers.
I false believe.
You're not getting me. Today,
I believe. Sorry, I was lost for a moment.
With Thanksgiving next week, I thought that this would be and being Thanksgiving is a celebration of not just plentifulness and the greatness of the harvest and just being together as a family and a community. Today's monster is the exact opposite of that. That's why I chose it for today. I'm talking about the Wendigo, the Native American monster of of, uh, of actually around here. Actually, the Wendigos mostly is the Great Lakes. It mostly is mostly located in the Great Lakes area, northeastern and or Canada. How Wendigo is made is that it's not just that a hunter gets lost in the woods and then they start eating people because they don't have any food. It's also just greed and selfishness can also summon the Wendigo. So the Wendigo is not a monster per se. It's actually a spirit that's actually in all of us. Any person can become a Wendigo. It's just having the not being able to just like have the urge to eat somebody. And it's actually what in many native tribes use the Wendigo as a lesson to not to eat people. The fact that they have to create a monster not to have that conversation is kind of understandable. And it's not just that it's not just that it's the Wendigo is a creature that is at every single person in the world has the ability to become a Wendigo. It's not just that it's the representation of hunger and greed. Like a lot of the native tribes that where the story comes from during the winter, oftentimes the Wendigo happens during the winter when there's no food. There's just and oftentimes a lot of the animals have migrated, so they can't go. They don't have much to hunt, so you have to survive on whatever you could store and make to last the winter. Well, unfortunately for a lot of people, they don't have the luxury. Unfortunately for a lot of people, a lot of these tribes, they didn't have the luxury of having a lot food and storage. And if you didn't have, well, you got to eat something. And so they ate their families. In fact, there's a story of a guy who believed that he was the Wendigo, and he had a real life person who he killed his let me hang on. His name was Swift Runner. He killed his entire family and of who starved to death. His wife, his 6 children, his mother, and his in a remote planet, and he's the only one who came back. And they found out that he actually killed them and ate them. And he believed, and to this day, that he was cursed by the Wendigo. And that's actually a psychosis. It's actually a Wendigo psychosis, where they actually believe that they're actually being possessed by the Wendigo. And the symptoms are depression or withdrawal, insomnia or paranoia, growing belief that one must consume human flesh, and cannibalism urges even when the other food is available. So they actually believe it's pretty dangerous. And the first time the Wendigo was actually written down was in 1661. And the description of a Wendigo, and this is not from Hollywood. Hollywood got they like typical of Hollywood, they get it all wrong. In Hollywood, It's usually they're towering, they're giant, they're over. In some cases, they're over 15 feet tall. Gaunted, pale skin that's stretched over their bones, bloody. Their lips are chewed away, so their teeth are showing, and their fingers have been gnawed on because they eat themselves. Their heart is covered in ice, encased in ice, and they usually are ravenous and eating each other body parts. The thing is about when you are possessed by the Wendigo, is that you have this insatiable hunger that no matter how much you eat, no matter what you get, no matter how much it'll never be satisfied. And that's why, and what makes it worse is that the more they eat, the more they grow and the more they big. And and I actually looked it up too. You can't kill a Wendigo. That's the thing, and that's the worst thing. In some of the in many mythologies, in many is nearly impossible to either to kill and or escape on a Wendigo. They are extremely fast. They actually have the ability to lure you out by mimicking the voice of someone you know. So this is a very dangerous creature. And some of the lores, they actually believe that fire is the only way to really kill it, to melt the ice around the heart and pierce it with a silver-tipped blade.
I wonder if that's the inception of how the Predator was made for inspiration of the movies.
Probably.
That's how his hunting goes.
It's the thing about the Wendigo. It's very similar to a lot of other stories. Like the werewolf is a very close similarity to the Wendigo because of it's the embodiment of bestial rage.
I'll show you bestial.
Yeah.
Damn it, llama.
See,
I refrained from saying I'll wear your wolf.
Damn it, llama. That was a good one though.
In some cases with the Wendigo, how they kill it is that once it's dead, they have to chop the body up and set it on fire and make sure it's completely turned to ash. Otherwise, it'll come back. They can't just simply just bury it.
Since always a good option.
Because I'll always come back. That's the concept.
I think that's pretty much all I have. Usually a Wendigo is happy. Oh yeah, I talked about that. Okay, so you guys got any questions?
Yeah, it was heard a lot of different stories about it from like Native American history as well and other things like that. There's creatures like that. It's just
The Wendigo is a Native American mythology.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's scary that it's I believe more real than anything because of all the other stuff I know of the Native American history and like the red-haired giants and stuff. That stuff's scary.
Yeah,
but
the thing about the Wendigo is that it's homegrown American mythology. This is one of the natives' most oldest myths, and the main reason why they do it is because when in the tribes, and let me make this perfectly clear, I am not speaking as somebody who's an expert of Native Americans. I am not. I'm just saying what I have read about the Wendigo. From what I've read about the Wendigo, and what I've read and listened to videos about it, a lot of the reason why the Wendigo curse happens is because when someone actually finds out that one of the tribe has eaten one of the other tribe, they get shunned, which is understandable. You're not going to trust a person who just ate their kid because they had no food. So it's like they get shunned, they get ridiculed, and so they become the creature that they hate the most.
Yeah, they lose sense of self and become something else, which is dark experiments as well in lore of mad experiments governments have done where it involves the abyss and talking about people in complete darkness, and somehow they all talk about the Legion. Damn it, llama. Look down and I look up and there's two me's reverse mirrored and I'm like, what is going on here? But yeah, on that note, Thunder
It's
Base.
time for our celebrity birthdays.
Oh,
And we are starting off today on November 13th, and we are starting with Whoopi Goldberg, 70 years old. Movie and
her and
television.
her older stuff. Don't like
I
her
liked.
now.
I did like her in the '80s. I haven't really seen her much lately because
She hasn't done much.
She should
Her
have.
last film was Thoroughly Modern Millie. That was actually in 2002.
She was in Sister Act 1, and I believe there was 2.
She was in Sister Act 2 and Lion King, and her last film was Toy Story 3.
She was also in the backgrounds for Little Rascals and for the Mario Brothers movie, live action original.
She was also in the movie Ghost and The Color Purple. And
Also the one with that a cop and T-Rex person, the Dino one. I remember that one.
She was in The Page Master.
Yeah, she was the pink one. She was the pink book, the fairy book.
Fantasy.
Who are we talking about again?
and can you believe that the pirate was Patrick Stewart?
That was great.
Just like Jekyll
We're talking about Whoopi Goldberg.
Leonard Nimoy.
Also, TV show host Jimmy Kimmel, 58.
Jimmy, remember, you used to be on the Man Show. I'm just going to always remind you, no matter what you say, no matter how much you're like, no. I remember babes and trampolines.
Yeah, but I can understand why that show got stale because it's like you can only watch hot girls at trampolines for so long.
It worked great, but it wasn't that. It was some of the jokes ran dry, and then people got complacent, and actually some of the girls did, I think, get injured from the trampoline.
I'll show you my tramp, Olene.
Damn it, Llama. I don't know if he's being serious or the trampoline he has.
I mean, there's 2 of them in the backyard, but I was going to talk about the tramp that leans.
All right, I'll pull up a list of X's. Why does it keep rolling?
But I'm going to actually bring somebody into this one from, this century. Gerard Butler, the actor of my favorite movie, Law Abiding Citizen.
Man.
He was featured in 300.
Love that movie. I liked him a Gamer.
I'll show you, Gamer.
He was also in Olympus Falls.
Yes.
Don't forget about 300 was one of his bigger films.
Oh yeah, him in 300.
Don't forget about London Falls.
When you watch, damn it, Llama. When you watch,
no, that's actually the sequel. Yeah, that's the sequel to Olympus Falls.
That's even funnier. I didn't even know. But yeah, watching 300 feels like you're getting pumped with adrenaline as you're watching it. You're just like, yeah.
It's like super historically inaccurate.
We also have Joe Mantegna.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
We also have Joe Mantegna. He's 78. He's from Criminal Minds.
Yeah, Chris North.
He played Dave Rossi in Criminal Minds.
Right.
How about
Note? Three Amigos and The Godfather Part 3.
Three Amigos, right.
Or how about Chris Noth? 71. He was he played in Law and Order for he was actually the original detective duo for several of the Law and Order in the early seasons, and he played Mr. Big in Sex and the City.
Nice.
What about Steven Zohan?
He was on Stuart Little, National Security, Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, he had a lot of good reactions of freaking out and screaming, "No!"
He was kind of funny in Stuart Little when he played Monty, the tabby cat that's actually alley cat. It's always say, please.
I
How about Tom
Voice
Atkins, 90s, a movie actor? He was in. He's mainly a horror movie actor.
What's the actor again?
He was in Night of the Creeps, Bruiser, Creepshow, and both of John Carpenter's Halloween 3 and The Fog.
Ah.
He also appeared in The Ninth Configuration and Escaped from New York. I've seen him. I've seen this film.
I got one right
Creepshow
here.
was actually a good film. I like.
I got Natasha Krislin, 30, pop singer. Or Natasha Kreslin. She was the Russian duo of Ice Peak.
Very
A
nice.
few other things. All right, you guys got one or two more before we shift over to.
How about Rex Lynn, TV actor, 69.
Nice.
He's the one that played Frank Tripp on CSI Miami.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that sucks. That one.
He was in the film Rush Hour as one of the police officers.
Yep.
All right, let's shift over to the 14th now.
How about Patrick Warburton? 61. He was the voice of Crunk in Emperor's New Groove. He was the voice of Mr. Steven Burks in Kim Possible. He also played. He was also that one agent in Men in Black 2 got neuralized in the early movie.
He was featured as a bodyguard in Scream 3, and he also voiced Buzz Lightyear in the animated series after the film with Tim Allen was done.
He also played in Seinfeld.
How about this? King Charles III, 77.
Oh, wow.
Current King of England.
Mayhem.
What?
It's the trampoline.
God damn it, Llama.
Here's one. Here's one. Bill Farmer, voice actor, 73. He is best known playing a legendary character, Goofy.
I got one right here. Valid the Impaler. 1431 to 1476. Prince.
Oh, I missed that one. And why he was called for all you non-history buffs out there.
Damn it, Llama.
The reason he was called
That
Vlad
is
the
Llama.
Impaler is because he liked to put people on stakes and just let them sit there and slowly descend.
Yeah, he would actually,
they would decorate his front lawn.
Now that I can actually agree.
And if he really didn't like you, he stuck the stake up your butt and left you there to die.
Oof.
No, he would slide through and slowly would impale through you because of the weight of your body.
I mean, I'd rather eat this steak instead.
And how about this? Travis Barker. He's 50. Famous drummer. The one that he was the drummer for Blink 182.
Okay.
Blink 182. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have one. How about Mason Gooding, 29. Movie and TV actor. He's featured in Scream 5 and 6. I think it was a scary movie with the word heart in it. Was it Good Heart, Love Heart, something? And he's the son of Cuba Gooding Jr.
Got one right here. Devontae Smith, 27, football player. That's funny.
One of the numerous ways it is spelled.
Yeah, that's originally how I thought your name was spelled.
Nope.
But I knew a lot of Devontaes from where I came from. But they were all spelled almost like that.
They all spell differently a lot, but the original one is is your name actually. It's the original.
Mine is the French spelling.
All right, let's do one more before we shift over.
All right.
Okay. How about this? Joseph McCarthy. He was a politician from 1908 to 1957.
And he was responsible for the communist scare during the Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to November 15th.
I go first.
Yes.
Edward Esner, movie and TV actor, 1929 to 2021. He is known for voice acting wise in the Spider-Man animated series as J. Jonah Jameson and Carl from Disney's Up.
And how about one of the top tier wrestlers of all time, Randy Savage, with his Slim Jims and everything. And unfortunately, he died in May.
Father of Seth Rollins.
He also died in May 20th, 2011 at age 58.
And I was in shock when that happened. He had a
How
heart
about
attack while
this?
driving.
I was like,
YouTube
oh
star,
wow. Like,
TikTok star, cosmetic developer, and fashionista, Jeffree Star, 40.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Yeah, I
yes.
remember the hype of Jeffree Star before.
He's also a DJ.
Yeah, before he went crazy.
James
yeah.
Singer.
Him and the Shane
Speaking of-
Dawson thing.
Another singer. We'll we'll go with Chad Kroeger, 51, rock singer
Nice.
from
How about
Nickelback.
Sam Waterston, 85. He put his most well-known character as Jack McCoy from Law and Order.
Very nice. I got one. Matt Pat, 39, YouTube star. He is behind his content calling The Game Theory.
Okay. How about this? Rapper and producer B.O.B. 37.
Oh,
The
Mr.
one that brought us Airplane.
And brought up the song Nothing on You with
Yep.
Bruno Mars. And it's strange how he got canned so badly because the whole argument with the Tyson DeGrassi guy about Flat Earth.
Ha!
Oh,
Yo,
how about this? How about Nickelback himself,
I
Chad
said-
Kroeger, 51.
I
Ooh.
believe you said that one. Yeah, I did.
Look at this photograph.
All right, we'll do one more before we shift over to the 16th.
Ah, shit, my pants.
Damn it, Mama.
I got Johnny Lee Miller, 53, TV actor best known for the British series Elementary as Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
Okay, let's go on to the 16th now. We got Mason Ramsey, 19, a country singer. Let's see, his first single called Famous in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. You want to be famous? I got famous and haven't heard from him since.
How about this one? Maggie Gyllenhaal, 48, movie actress. She's best known for The Dark Knight and Monster House, and she is the sister of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Didn't she play Ra's al Ghul's? No, wrong character.
She was
played,
Rachel Dawes.
She played
She was
Rachel.
Rachel Dawes. She was the one that was set up in the idea of what happened to Harvey Dent in the Two-Face
Yeah,
accident.
she got blown up.
Mm-hmm. That's her. In Monster House, she played Z, the goth babysitter.
That's funny. I forgot all about that. All right, let's do another one. Jack Champion. Yeah. 21, movie actor
Yes.
for Avengers Endgame. Scream 6, Avatar sequels.
Hmm.
What was
Oh,
the
Missy Pyle, 53. She's one of her best known as their Oscar winning an artist, as well as being the one of the alien crew from Galaxy Quest.
She was featured in Dodgeball, The Underdog Story, Ma, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And Jumanji.
I don't
How
remember her
about
being in
this?
Jumanji.
Comedian Pete Davidson, 32. He's been on Saturday Night Live, and he's also starred in The King of Staten Island. Okay.
He was featured in Suicide Squad 2021.
Yeah, for like a quick minute, then he traded them all and died.
Cameo, right. Okay.
Okay, I got another one right here. Park Hong Si, 34.
Really
Cops
sick.
here.
I got dibs on first of next the next
Park
one.
Hyung-sik.
Yes, I can't say that right.
I have one. Lisa Bonet, 58, TV actress. She's best known for her role as Denise Huxtable in The Cosby Show and A Different World. And her daughter is now an actress.
Let's do
How about this? Harry Lennox, movie actor. 61.
He was featured in The Five Heartbeats and Supergirl.
And he was also in Ray.
Right. He was featured in Justice League.
Oh, I got one right here. We're gonna head off to November 17th now.
How about Danny DeVito?
You
I
son of a
knew
fucker.
it.
I said
Yeah,
I
no.
got one and you took it.
Yeah, no. As
81
soon
years
as he
old.
called it,
He's
I
a
called it.
he's a long-term time actor for both. He won both Emmy and Golden Globes. He was the Penguin in Batman Returns,
Penguin.
Harry Wormwood and Matilda.
and
Yep.
he was in Matilda. He was in
I love that
Beetlejuice.
one. Yep.
which one?
Well, he was in the new one, Beetlejuice.
He was Phil in
Jumanji.
Hercules.
He was in Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That was great.
Funny. He was featured in as Phil in the animated Hercules film.
He was in Romancing of the Stone as the buddy.
Oh,
He
I
was
got
actually
one.
in both those movies.
How
And
about
he was
this?
also his debut was in Taxi.
How
Yeah,
about this?
Taxi.
Martin Scorsese, director. 83. He's the one that brought us Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and
Yeah.
The Departed.
That's the one. I got one.
right
How
here.
about Rachel McAdams, 47, movie actress. She was featured in Doctor Strange, Mean Girls, and A Hot Chick.
I got one right here. And a YouTube star that I've grown to enjoy. I'm going to watch tonight after I get off this. Doug Walker, 44, the nostalgia critic. If you guys want to watch movies about nostalgia in any kind of format with some good
Sweet.
sense, or check him out. Nostalgia Critic's funny. There was a whole history about him with a whole channel of group, like kind of what we're doing. We're trying to put together a big group, but theirs fell apart because of infighting, which is not his fault.
Ouch.
And
How about
yeah, but he
Tom
kept
Ellis?
live staying up was just being who he is, nostalgia critic, and he's awesome.
How about Tom Ellis?
Damn it.
47. He's most notably known as for Lucifer in the TV series Lucifer.
Mr. Lucifer Morningstar himself. You son of a gun.
How about this? Dylan Walsh. He's
Oh, I was gonna get him.
62. He's best known for his roles in Nip Tuck and Blue Bloods.
He was featured in The Stepfather remake and Superman and Lois.
He
All right.
also was on the drama Unforgettable.
I remember that one, yeah. How about this one? Stephen Root, 74, TV and movie actor. He is best known as Bill in The King of the Hill. He was featured in Get Out and Finding Nemo.
I wish
Okay.
Mayhem would get out.
Damn it, Mama. I love those pictures you posted, by the way. Those were great. I got one right here. Zoe Bell, 47, movie actress. What? She was in Uma Thurman, Lucy Lawless. And she did Stunt Double. Wow. She was Stunt Double, best known for filming for Lucy Lawless as the stunt double of Xena Warrior Princess. I did not know that part. I knew she played Uma Thurman. Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof movie.
That's the Kurt Russell movie. Okay.
So that means all those cool flips and all those cool crazy things that we knew that wasn't her was her. Wow.
She was also appeared in another film called The Hateful Eight that was made by Quentin Tarantino.
Good times.
How about this? Tom Ellis, 47. He's
He did
best
that
known
one.
for his starring role as Lucifer in Lucifer.
Yep. Let's finish that off now. We're gonna go to November 18th.
Wow.
I got one. What's wow?
Wow.
Wow. What?
Ooh.
Owen Wilson.
Damn it, Llama. I was going to get that one.
Well, you asked. I was only saying wow.
You're just pulling what he does all the time.
Wow.
He's
How
high.
about this? Guitarist of Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Metallica.
63.
Sad but true.
Am I wrong?
Yes, all the time.
Damn it, Llama. You're wrong.
See, you're wrong again, right there.
What?
You said I was wrong, and that makes you wrong because I'm never wrong.
Nice. All right, I got another one right here. Tommy Crash or Cash. Is that Cash?
Like,
Tommy
damn it, Llama, just because you're a wizard does not mean that you are.
It's Cash.
I'll take a wizard on your face.
Damn it, Llama. 34 years old. Wow.
I'm
Okay.
like Kevin Nelson.
Totally lost my
72.
train of thought because of
Because I just offered him a golden shower.
son of a.
He's
Damn it, Llama. You
known for being in both Happy Gilmores
oh.
and in Daddy Daycare. Mostly just comedies.
I have one. Elizabeth Perkins, 65, TV and movie actress, best known for Big with Tom Hanks, The Flintstones as Wilma, and Miracle on 34th Street.
Tom Hanks.
And cameo and the voice special appearance in Finding Nemo as Coral, Nemo's mother.
All right. Got one right here called Rick Owens, 64, fashion designer. The Rick Owens lilies and his dark shadow clothes. Massive influence, an entrepreneur.
Very, very nice.
All right, let's do a couple more before we shift off to the 19th, which is today.
Mike Epps, comedian and actor, 55. He is best known for his films Next Friday and Friday After Next.
Damn.
How about this? Nathan Kress, 33. Best known as Freddie Benson on iCarly.
Very nice.
So, do we get Kevin Nealon? 72, comedian. He was also in Adam Sandler films of Happy Gilmore and Weeds. He was the one golfer that was kind of a know-it-all.
Already.
Okay.
What?
We did do him already.
Wow, my bad. Didn't even know. What about Elizabeth
You
Perkins?
can do me
I
already.
did that. We did that one already.
Wow, I lost train of thought thanks to Llama. Damn it, Llama.
It's because I'm on your mind and in your bed.
You're horrible.
On to today, November 19th.
You give a big old two-time salute to our 20th President of the United States, James A. Garfield.
I used to live on his street.
What?
He lasted only 200 days and ended it with an assassination by a man named Charles Guiteau, who was so unpopular he kicked out of a sex cult.
Oh,
Twice.
man.
How? First off, how'd you get in one?
Jeez.
And then
Larry King,
kicked out.
1933 to 2021.
Yikes.
TV show host of Larry King Live.
I have one. Jason Scott Lee, 59, movie actor. He is best known for the Bruce Lee American Story film as the main character. He plays in the Jungle Book 1994, and he was Shan Yu in the 2021 live action Mulan film. And he voiced and the voice of David from the animated Lilo and Stitch.
How about George Rogers Clark? He died on February 13th, 1818 at the age of 65. He is a highest ranking military officer in the Northwestern Front during the Revolutionary War. And achieved a lot of military achievements before he turned the age of 30.
Interesting.
How about this? Adam Driver, aka Kylo Ren.
Ironically, he can't drive.
Very good one.
Wait, what?
I got one. How about Meg Ryan, movie actress, 64. She's best known for Sleepless in Seattle, You Got Mail, Anastasia.
How about Larry King? He died in January 23rd.
Already did that one.
And he was
already did that one.
What about Carson Beck, 23 football player?
What about Ted Turner?
Oh God, Ted Turner.
I don't know. I just saw it on this list of people I was looking at. I thought he was already mentioned this.
Fashion designer Calvin Klein. 83.
Yeah.
Now, for the record, I don't know if it's actually true that Adam Driver cannot drive. I just wanted to say that.
How about Erica Alexander, 56, TV actress? She's best known for the sitcom as Max in Living Single, Pam in The Cosby Show, and Perina in DC comic series Black Lightning.
All right, let's Better base. We got one more before we end the birthdays.
How about this? She's a soap opera actress, Catherine Kelly, 46. Her best known role is Becky McDonald in the show Coronation Street.
Oh. Very nice.
Recently, she just starred as Sheridan McCoy in the TV series The Hat.
Nice.
Kinky.
Well, that was the birthdays for this week.
Happy birthday to all, and to all, good night.
Happy birthday to everyone. Center base, anything you want to say before we shift off to the next segment?
I think I'd better turn in a little early too, because I'm pretty bushed from work.
I'll show you my bush.
Damn it, Llama. All right, Layers, have a good night.
Good night, Layers.
Y'all too.
And have a Merry Christmas.
Work hard.
Or, hard.
Damn it, Llama.
I was about to say, that was a lazy one for me.
I'm just saying it because you deserved it.
I'll show you what I deserve.
Send a picture right now.
I'll give you my safety tip.
Damn it, Llama. All right. Safety tips for you guys, girls, and squirrels. The hat. It's winter time, and it's getting there close. People that utilize heaters, please be mindful when using them. Watch for the plugs. Check, make sure they're plugged in properly. Make sure that they are connected to a power strip or outlet. They're plugged in accordingly, and there's only one or two things that are plugged in, not numerous. You don't want it to overheat. Don't leave them on nonstop. Set timers, or if they have built-in timers, or just shut them off over time. Don't let them running the whole time. It also builds up and generates a lot of electricity bills. You don't want to pay that. It's getting higher these days. Yeah.
Before you migrate away from the space heaters, always make sure to check your equipment. Make sure that none of the cords are cut, frayed, or stripped in any way, shape, or form. Always inspect any electronical equipment before plugging it into an outlet.
Same thing with the heaters. Also, make sure that there's nothing flammable a lot around the heaters because a lot of heaters have heating coils, and they will catch things on fire if given half a chance.
Yes, do not leave them turned on around Mayhem. He is already smoking hot.
And most importantly, when you are using your heaters, be sure to put it on a sensible thermostat level because sometimes overheating the heater and the coils can cause a very burning malfunction or a flammable destruction to your heater too, and it can also blow out as easy. So please be mindful with your thermostats when you're using.
Also be mindful the first time you plug in your heater, you may smell kind of like a burning smell. Just make sure to monitor that because 9 out of 10, it is just simply it burning off the dust and it's nothing to worry about. But
Or a
never, bug. Don't leave it unattended when you have that smell. Just make sure that it goes away after a while.
Absolutely.
Yep. Be mindful. Next thing for safety. It's getting cold and wintry out there in another kind of manner. Please ice your or salt your areas because of ice. Watch out. You get slippery.
Just telling people to ice their pants?
Ice. You know what? Ice, baby. Yeah.
Ice, baby.
Damn it, llama. Okay. But yeah, remember to salt your pathways, shovel your walks. If you do it early, you get a better path. Even if it keeps snowing, it makes so it's a less hassle. You may get to go out there a few more times. Guess what? You're more healthy now. Do some more workouts. But throw some salt out there to help. Don't over salt. You don't need to. You can just sprinkle lightly and it'll take up accordingly.
Be very careful of black ice as well.
Yes, you can't even see it. It just slip, thud. Or cars while driving. You have to feather your brakes if you're hitting ice or snow. Don't slam on your brakes. I know it's a reaction you first want to do. Yeah. Don't.
I should get a chicken then, so I have plenty of feathers.
Damn it, llama.
Well, if you have pets, they do make specialized salt for pets so that they don't get harmed by the salt. Make sure that you shovel. Always shovel on the day it's snowing because it means that, or during the day when the snow is loose, so that it's easier to get off.
I'm easier to get off.
Otherwise, if you wait till the next day, it's like concrete. You have a better chance of breaking it apart with a pickaxe than you do with a shovel.
Yeah, when it comes to safety, be mindful with what that is. Make sure you're wearing the proper foot gear as well. Do not come out there with flip-flops or slippers or anything like that.
What is wrong with wearing flip-flops in the snow, sir?
Damn it, oh my God.
You don't want to have hypothermia on your feet. That's one because frostbite is also something you want to avoid.
I have one of my dad's medical books. I can show you what frostbite looks like.
Oh man, I'm same here, but I don't want to see how it really looks.
Yeah, I've gotten trench foot and rot foot, but not. I've gotten close to that.
Also, with the colder temperatures, it's always a good idea to go get nice warm thermal socks because it's always keeping your toes nice and toasty during the winter is always a good thing because it helps keep the circulation into your toes. So that it helps prevent frostbite
and hypothermia.
Also, just keep yourself stretching and healthy and active. Also, maybe bring a drink with you that's either decent temperature or warm, but not. Just remember, though, if you do try to pour something hot outside, it will freeze faster than it will if it was cold or cool. The molecules push together faster, which makes it almost freeze instantly. It's kind of fun to watch, though. Don't do it to your car windows. You will shatter your window.
But also, don't drink too much hot seated stuff in cold weather because you'll get cold shock. It's like heat. It's like you'll get cold stroke because it's like heat stroke, but it's like with colder temperatures. When
I just had a stroke.
it's different It's the different temperatures. And if you drink too much hot stuff when it's really cold out, you could do some bad stuff to your insides.
That's really a real thing. I never knew that.
Yeah, so be mindful of what you do when it comes to that kind of stuff. On that note, though, is there anything else anybody wants to say beforehand before we shift off to the Warhammer lore?
Don't take any wooden nickels. Don't trust a guy who twirls their mustache, not mustache, mustache.
But on a more serious note, when driving, please remember to reduce speed in the snow because, like previously mentioned, you don't see black ice, and there's a few areas in which it is very dominant to happen. Black ice, it could be dominant and it won't be a part of your vision. But yeah, make sure to keep proper distance away from vehicles or other vehicles on the roadway, especially semi trucks. They definitely cannot stop as quickly as you could in any condition. And just because they have 18 wheels does not mean they can stop 18 times faster. They do not have that many brake pads.
Accelerations, my friends. Mass times acceleration.
Yeah. Weight, velocity, all of that comes into play. Hey, math. But on that note, I think it's time for a little bit of Warhammer. War!
Greetings, my fellow citizens of the Imperium. By the grace of the God Emperor and with the blessing of the Holy Inquisition, I have been authorized to make this transmission. Today we are going to talk about another great commissar of the Imperium. Unlike Caiaphas Cain, like we did last time, the man we are talking about today actually fought on the front lines deliberately to inspire his troopers, to inspire the guardsmen under his charge, and they were inspired indeed. I am talking about none other than the people's hero known as Abraham Gaunt. Of the 10th first. See, Abraham Gaunt first started his career, like all commissars do, by being orphaned into or being brought into a thing called the Scholar Paginium. This is basically the Imperium equivalent to a boarding school for orphans, for high-ranking aristocrats or people they just don't want to make sure that they didn't want to be around. So they train them to be commissars, stormtroopers, sisters of battle, ministratum workers, and whatnot, and so on and so forth.
Some you get to play in video games.
Yeah. Abraham Gaunt first started his when after the Scholar Progenium, he actually would go be a commissar, what they call a commissar cadet. This is basically a commissar, like one rank below becoming full commissar. Where this is when you go in trail of high-ranking individual. A full commissar for a while to learn the ropes, to learn how to be a commissar. And his in case was a general. He was actually a general commissar general Delit Akhtar, who was part of the Hayakin regiments. Unfortunately, he would die a little later by being poisoned by orcs because he drank something he shouldn't have and was poisoned. And unfortunately, the regiment who was also drinking that stuff also died. He would then raise Gaunt to his full commissarial status on his deathbed. Unfortunately, Gaunt found out, was told by a man named Lord General Dursius, about his father dying a heroic death against the Greenskins, against the orcs. Unfortunately, that was a lie, a partial lie. Dursius actually turned coward and fled the battle for him. And then he found out about it and challenged him to a duel. And as a full commissar, he had the legal authority to kill him, to summarily execute him on sight. And he wins the duel, but gets nasty scars across his belly. He then joined a regiment of Hayakins, like his mentor, according the Hayakin 8th, and would spend many battles with them until the Battle of Balhauth, which the War Master at the time, which was War Master Slater, would eventually die. He would then be assigned to 3 regiments of a planet called Tanith. Unfortunately, Tanith was destroyed because of mismanagement and miscalculation. Tanith would be destroyed, and all he could get off of it was a 1 regiment of soldiers. This would later be called the Tanith First and Only. And he served with the Tanith First and Only for many years, achieving many victories with them. The Tanith First and Only is a regiment of light scouts and light infantry. The Tanith have innate ability to not always know when they are, because their planet is actually really cool. The trees actually uproot themselves and move. Then move with the sun. So they actually move so it's almost navigation for a Raymond person who's not native to it is almost impossible. He for many battles, one of the biggest ones was the Battle of Vervenhive on Vakas. This was a pitched battle where he had to take personal command of the entirety of the Imperial forces, because the general in question would turn coward and would try to run away. The same general would eventually turn traitor, and Gaunt and his ghosts have to go infiltrate and go and execute him. And they do, on a planet called Gargas, I think it was called. He eventually be promoted to what would be called Lord Militant. Basically, he was the 1 step below War Master. He's basically the Lord Militant, was the War Master's right hand or left hand, depending on which you want. He achieved many victories and suffered many losses, as well as suffering the loss of both of his eyes in battle. He gets them replaced with augmentation, very good augmentation. Like, you couldn't even tell that they're fake just by looking at them. His weapon of choices was a bolt pistol, and at first it was a chainsaw sword, but then it got promoted to a power sword called the Sword of Hieronymo Sunder, which he got because he was commanding Vervenhive. But because Vervenhive was decommissioned after the battle, he was allowed to keep the sword, and he kept that sword for the rest of his career. He was known as a commissar who actually cared about his command. He was the kind of commander who fought with the front lines with his men. Unlike some generals who like living in the laps of luxury in a nice, safe battleship far, far from the front lines, Gaunt was down there in the mud and the guts and the blood with his men. He fought next to each one of he knew every one of his men by name. And he was much beloved by the Tanith first and only. By most, at least. Some of them wanted him dead, and one of them actually tried. But being a commissar, that's pretty much par for the course. That's pretty much it. Do you guys got any questions?
Was he one of the ones that faced off against the orcs and was respected by them for a while?
No, that's Yurik.
That's the one.
Gaunt would fight orcs from time to time, but the main forces he fought were chaos forces. He fought in a thing called the Sabbath World Crusade. So he fought in a place called the Sabbath World Crusade. It was is the Sabbath Worlds over in I believe in the Pacificus Segmentum, if I remember correctly. Let me look it up. Yep, Segmenta Pacificus. It's one of the. For those of you who don't know, how the Imperium has segregated the galaxy into segmentums. So, like, you have the Ultramar segmentum. That's where Ultramar and all that. You have the where the Eye of Terror is, and you have one where in Pacificus and all these other ones. So it's just one way of using bureaucracy to try and keep things as situated as physically possible in the grand scheme of an Imperium.
Or they'll fucking kill you. I mean, what? But that's Warhammer for you guys. We are on to our next segment.
I believe it's the political chat.
It is game time.
Oh, it's game time. Okay, gaming stuff. What are we?
I've been playing Warhammer again. A lot more like Dawn. Damn it, Llama! What? I'm okay with it. At the same time, I'm not. But good job.
I don't know if you guys demonetized.
You're probably wondering why I've been so quiet.
He's been looking things. I've been playing a lot of different games, like I'm on Nintendo Switch again, and then also like games on my phone. Game on my phone I play is called Mekaroshi. Really fun. I've been playing that recently. I'm actually playing it right now. Build a bunch of robots and do a bunch of war strategy. It's really fun. Plus, like I have Gundam games.
Honestly, I tried the new Call of Duty that came out last week.
Yeah.
It is terrible. Because the problem is that they basically made a campaign, a co-op campaign, mind you, that's just basically the same as the goddamn multiplayer. I hate when games do that. It just reeks of laziness.
just sounds like they don't feel like actually adding to it. Like I there was campaigns where there was multiplayer where you could have 2 or 3 people joining you for the storyline, which is really fun, and I enjoy those. And the last couple Call of Duties have been very yeah. I
I'll
like the
show you
older
a
one.
call to my duty.
Damn it, Llama. I hope not. That'd be scary.
And
It smells
gross.
bad too.
Gross. Nonetheless,
Oh, dude, you should have saw it came out of me the other day. Fucking clogged the damn toilet.
I can't believe you just said that to me. Damn it,
Spent
Llama.
about 45 minutes in there.
You're horrible.
Yeah, it was
Dude,
bad.
drink
It
more water.
hurt.
So back to gaming, which that does remind me there is a Conker's Bad Fur Day episode that are part in the
Sorry,
game.
did you say
Like,
gay men or gay men?
damn it, Llama. I don't want to deal with the gay men. That's happens a lot. I don't know how or why I attract them, but I do. Weird.
Jeez.
They're still my friends, but no means no.
I'm currently playing Arkham Asylum again because it's a really good game and I love it.
Oh
It's
man,
probably one of the best. It's one of the best Batman games in recent history.
that one in Arkham City. Like I loved both of those. How they
Arguably, they said that Arkham Asylum and City will be the top 2 of the Arkham series.
Yeah, they are because they connect together. They flow. The first one's good, not too long, but it's gets things going. The second one is longer and a better story, and there's like connections to it. There's also a whole city of stuff you can do. Not
Then
just like in Arkham Asylum, you get to do so much, but the one thing you've always wanted to do as Batman is swing around the city with your grappling hook. Grappling hook.
And then
You get
there's
to that.
and then there's
Around the
Arkham
city.
Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight. In my opinion, some would tell you. In my opinion, I would say Arkham Knight was too good because they wanted the Batmobile to be playing a part. But then again, I think it was 85% of the Batmobile thing that kind of made the game too good because sometimes something that's too good can turn out to be too much of a bad thing.
I don't know. I enjoyed it for what it was. I just, when it comes down to it, I preferred.
You said come.
Damn it,
The thing is, it's 85% more of the Batmobile mechanics versus than it is on foot and story mechanics.
yeah.
Well,
which
the
is-
story was pretty good.
But it's still a good game. It's just that sometimes some parts of it is still too good to a point it can become a bad thing.
it's probably
not-
because there wasn't much Riddler in this one. That's why he doesn't like it as much.
Honestly, the thing about the Riddlers
No,
is like
no,
what
it's
I loved
it
about
isn't.
the Riddler is that
No,
you
it's
can
not it's not the fact of not too much. There was not much Riddler in there. It's the game and overall. I mean, don't get me wrong. The way how Riddler was in the game, I actually like the idea how they have Riddler in a different way instead of just having him full suited. He has it in a mechanic like style. If you think about it.
I like different characters for different reasons for the story plots, but I also love the little things you could do, like in the game. You get the certain codes or the certain skins. That could be Batman Beyond and fly around as Batman Beyond. I love that. Or
I
Yellow
like
Lantern.
Batman
Yeah,
Beyond
'cause
Arkham Knight. I
Arkham-
think that
now-
Batman Beyond Arkham Knight was perfect.
Arkham City had more darker tones to it because Hugo Strange was one of the toughest villains you had to go through story wise too. So I think
Oh,
City. And then there was a side. Not to mention there was a side story you could play as Catwoman as well.
Oh yes, I remember that. But on that note, is there anything else we want to talk about for games before we shift over to the
We can
stressful
talk about
part
the
of the
Steam
episode?
Deck, the new Steam console that's coming out.
Oh yeah, forgot all about that.
I'll
Hello.
steam you.
I honestly think I'm not going to buy a day of because I never buy a console day of because there's always problems with consoles that when they first come out.
Oh yeah,
The
and
new ones.
well, I mean, you also got to think about like when they sent out the Steam decks, like they weren't even like fully good.
They
Like, had-
screwed up so
yeah.
bad with those. I'm so
Yeah.
salty at them for that.
Well, that's because I made it I found out. I learned this through trial and error. like I said, I never buy a console day of because when it first comes out, because there's always problems. No
Yep.
matter what console it is, there's always something that's going to go wrong. And it's not usually takes them at least 1 or 2 generations down the line before they finally work out all the kinks.
Oh, sounds like my family.
I learned that with the 360. I got one early, one of the white ones, and it died.
Why'd it have to be white?
Damn it, Llama. I don't know. They were racist. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's horrible. We were playing Halo, a bunch of us, and we just nonstop played that game. They didn't put a proper fan system in the first consoles. Burned out, got Red Ring of Death in the first 6 months, maybe 8 months of just constant Halo.
You know what they say? If you liked it, you should put a ring on it.
Oh, you're horrible. The second one I waited for because I got another one that was gifted to me. It got the Red Ring of Death like a year later because it was the next version up. And then they came out with the Black Slim, like small version. And I noticed it had better fans and it would stay cooler. And I must have had that one for, wow, a long time now, about 14 years, maybe 15, no longer.
Yeah, and then they decided to put a hard drive in it, and it slowed everything back down.
Yeah, and there's fan attachments. What I used to do is, and I still do, is I just take a fan and just have a small fan blow on it or in it and keep it cooler. But on that note, is there anything else you guys like to talk about for games before we shift over to our next segment?
Well, I recently just started a new game on the original Legend of Zelda.
Oh, snap.
I haven't played that
1985 NES version.
I have all old games from all Nintendo systems. I've got the game packs that the Switch has for.
Oh, yeah.
I literally click on the pack and go get all these extra games as well. Kind of like how if you remember Dreamcast, the old generator games that Dreamcast used to have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they have all those. They have even 64 ones they've recently been putting on there. And,
yeah, I got all of the former system packs that they had. And I decided to go in to play the original. Like, I think it was the Super Nintendo was the original Legend of Zelda.
I don't remember.
The original one is from the NES. The Super NES will be the next one. So I think the one you're talking about for Super
it's
NES,
the one that Super Mario was on.
Oh, the first Super Mario Brothers. That's NES. Super Mario World is Super NES, which means a later time. Okay, so it's NES.
Yeah, because it was the same unit that they had Super Mario World on.
Oh, the Super Mario World. Okay, that's super. You're right. It's SNES then. If it's Super Mario World. Okay, so you got Legend of Zelda: A Link from the Past.
Yes.
That's the second installment of the Legend of Zelda series. But yes.
Okay.
Played many of them.
I started a new game on that. I haven't played it in forever.
I played the original, and Mario Brothers and Legends of Zelda and Sonic were the 3 video games I beat first. Very difficult, but fun.
Yeah. Street Fighter, Mario, Sonic were the first 3 I have actually beaten.
Crash Bandicoot, House of the Dead, and Sonic were the first 3 for me.
I heard House of the Dead is kinky.
Damn it, Llama. I showed you kinky, you would cry.
I literally just downloaded a game last night and started playing it. It's literally only been like 5 days since it was released. It's free to download, free to play. But it's called Where Winds Meet. and you play as a young sword master as they embark on a journey to uncover the mysteries of their own identities. It's open world action adventure RPG. Like I literally downloaded it last night, played through the tutorial. Tutorial seemed very, very thorough on the tutorial. Seemed very nice. And
Is that something for PC?
Yeah, I downloaded it on Steam.
Okay.
So like I don't really have to that little bit I just gave you was from like their store page about it and whatnot, because I haven't gotten too far into it. Like I downloaded it, and I mean it's 100 gigs almost. Like I was a little surprised that it was free to download and free to play.
Damn.
So it's not like a tiny game.
Doesn't
So at
sound.
this moment, it is time to move on to our political chat.
Hey, before you start any
As an
videos,
Australian citizen being told that your rights as an Australian citizen to wear whatever you want to wear in a public swimming pool or a public setting is actually going to be taken over by Muslim women because they feel offended at what they're seeing. Or more than that, they want to actually be respectful of Ramadan. So you as an Australian citizen being here long before these people have been here, you have to actually abide by their standards and be respectful to the Muslims. Does this remind you of something along the lines of Sharia? This is not an Islamic nation. This is not an Islamic country either. So why is it that Australian swimmers are ordered to cover up for Muslims? A public pool has waded into controversy by offering women-only swimming hours shielded from view to accommodate the Muslim community. A pool bans skimpy outfits for Ramadan. In Melbourne pool, of course, it's guys.
Pause it and everything. Why is it that their religious holiday is allowed to overcome and oversee a law of the land?
Yeah, I could see if like they rented out the pool and whatnot, then it was a private event. But to sit there,
if it's just like a public beach or a public pool, they have no right to say whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if I see like a woman who really should not be wearing a bikini is wearing a bikini, I'm not going to go up to her and say, "Ma'am, please don't show that. Please don't wear that around here."
No, you just vomit behind a wall in private.
Yeah, I just go into the bathroom, I just pour bleach in my eyes in there.
But I mean, that also goes for guys. That some guys wear things they should not wear.
No Speedos for chubby guys who should not be wearing Speedos.
It's long and you don't know where it goes. But
I was trying to stop the video before you guys started because I'm gonna bolt. I got an early morning tomorrow. I got guys coming to install the new windows and shit. So
have a good one.
Have fun. I don't wanna. That takes all the fun out of it.
Damn it, Llama.
Good night, guys.
Good
night. Glad I got one more in there before I left.
You better. Yeah, I don't approve or appreciate that. If they wanted to do that, why don't they have their own segregated pools then for just that they want, that they can choose? If not, like Dark Trooper was saying, rent it out for a little bit. If not, it's a month out of the year. Don't freaking swim for that month.
Well, or it's just like
it's part of Ramadan anyways, which is technically a haram or haram for them to supposedly be taking any enjoyment or anything unless they fall under any kind of medical standards. I know all about the religion. I've studied it. I've read it. It's disgusting. I'm not trying to be a dick, but look, a penis.
It's your religious beliefs are your business. I honestly do not care what you believe in, what God you believe in. As long as you don't try to push your God onto me, I don't care what you believe in. It's just like I have more important things to deal with than what God you choose to worship. But on the other hand, It's like you do not have the right to go into a public bathroom, a public bedroom, or anything in public and point to a person and say, "You cannot wear that. Get the fuck out of here." Unless it's something that's going to be disturbing people, like saying like a picture of of a naked woman on your T-shirt, and you're going into a public area. Yeah, tell that guy to go screw off. Turn that shirt inside out and get that fucking out of here.
Yeah, like something like that disturbs the peace, or that is purposely going to cause controversy, and to a certain extent, certain things don't count, certain things do.
Or like going into a Jewish synagogue saying with a T-shirt saying "I hate Jews."
Yeah, that's wrong. You can't do that. And if you walk around with like a Nazi symbol as well, but like that's the problem. That's the issues with it. They're not understanding, because here's the thing that we're talking about, an explanatory of what if we walked into a church of worship, such as a synagogue or a church or whatnot. Hell, what if you walk into a mosque with one of these things saying that Muhammad was a pedo? Guess what? They're not going to ask you to leave. They're probably going to kill you.
Or you'll get your ass kicked.
That's the problem. That's the difference. Which they even state that they want ignorant and more dumb people in their ranks, so they're easier to control. They're easier to do what they want, and when they builds up pressure and there's too many of them around, they all get excited. One of them does something stupid, and they all cover for each other lying. Lying usually is a low intelligence thing, not a high intelligence thing.
It depends on the lie.
That involves creativity. You can be creative and still be dumb. But let's go to the next one.
Yeah, this one I really want to talk about.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. This is Eric Orwell. I visited him in the Ozark Mountains. He's building a settlement for white people only. So far, land has been cleared, a well has been drilled. It can't be like me and just immigrate here. You're European, so you would be eligible. Like many millennial men, Eric came of age in an internet culture that embraced taboo.
You can't even discuss the fact that certain races demonstrate low IQ
and a political climate where white people are told they are being villainized and being replaced.
They are. That's the difference that people don't understand. I don't agree with the whole just white people only in a segregated area. What I believe is being American in this country, because I am the melting pot. I get it. If he does want something like that, they can make their own special village or whatnot, but not a whole state, not a whole. But that's between them and private funding and everything. It just could not be something that would be governmentally funded.
The reason I wanted this one is because I believe in this kind. This is how Nazism starts. Is that this is a community that is breeding the idea of
No. What do you mean Nazism?
Looking at other people.
You need to reiterate right there, because that doesn't make sense. What do you mean a group of white people automatically become Nazis? No.
I'm saying what it is it's a breeding ground. That gentleman in question, like the guy who actually starting the whole process, may have altruistic and very good ideas in general. But the problem is that kind of community is the kind of community that is. I'm not saying that that community is going to be a Nazi.
Really bad.
That's not what I'm saying. But the problem is that kind of community, when you don't have the idea.
Because you can say the same thing when it comes to put a group of black people. Now you got Black Panthers or gang hood guys, which I know how that goes. Or a group of Mexicans. Now you get a Mexican gang. Or a group of all Japanese, and now you get theirs. Or Yakuza. Or you get a bunch of Muslims and Arabs in an area, and they all become Sharia law. That has been happening, especially the Sharia law Muslim one recently. All of them have had that, but you don't really see that with white communities, and that's the thing. Nazism is not from white America or white in general. Nazism was from Austria.
Well, what he said is what he said. and also what he said was like, if you're from Western Europe, you're guys okay. So you mean you let people from Spain come in?
He would probably have
right there. Remember, that's Western Europe.
Fine. That's what he's meaning is if he's meaning Western people in general, that's fine. If he's meaning just only whites, no, that's kind of wrong. But at the same time, you shouldn't kick out a group of people just because one person's one shade darker or a couple shades darker or lighter.
Sorry.
Yeah, because that's the thing I'm trying to say. That if he was strictly saying whites only, that's a little racist. But at the same time, it goes both ways, which is really messed up. There's blacks only things I've seen, Mexicans only things, and everything else and such. And then when it comes down to it, now Muslim or Arab only things. And if you're not, you get kicked out. I get it. I've paid attention to this stuff, but when you see the actual statistics of what has more aggression, which has more problems, you're not going to be seeing no random Nazism stuff. You're going to be seeing them like trying to protect each other because a lot of Jews are white. A lot of Jews.
Well, what I meant by it is like, it's the idea that it's a potential breeding ground for that kind of idealism.
That goes anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
That goes anywhere. That's just a weird way to put it. How it puts is that you just, when you look at this said group of people, it makes you assume this, but you don't look at the other groups and assume it with the other groups. But the other groups are the more of a threat. When you look at percentages of who's actually going to be what, when it comes down to it, there's more attacks and violent things of other natures of other ones. Like certain religions don't mix with other cultures.
And then
and even Wiccan pagans do not mix with the Islam religion or Muslim religion whatsoever. We are the infidels to them. We are the underclass to them. We are the subjugate to them.
Well, the other thing is like I was saying is that what happens if, say, one of the community members, like one's a white chick and a white guy have a black baby, because that has happened before, where because of certain genetic traits, like what happened was, it was a Red story. So just so you know,
oh dear.
The OP was the chick and the lady, and the guy, they had a kid. The kid come out very dark skinned, and then the guy automatically assumed that she was cheating on him, but not realizing that the reason why is because they both had the genetic traits to have African American babies, because they had that genetic trait, but he didn't realize that until his grandma confessed, until it said, "Oh yeah, I had a grandfather. My dad was light skinned enough, so he just passed." So it's like whatever. But
well, see, now that thing that does happen in genetics, but like, of course, if you are a completely different skin and a kid comes out darker, and you're both looking at each other pale, going, you're gonna have assumptions. That's why something that needs to happen, period, is when a man and woman have a kid together, they should be having a DNA test, period. DNA should be a number one thing just to know, because there's a lot of infidelity in this world, not just this country, this world, especially France. Oh,
not just that, but it also establishes that the child that you are given to is in fact your child.
Yes, and that's one thing that worries me. That when I had my kids born, like my daughter, I every step of the way, I made sure that that baby was not alone with anybody. I was in sight the whole time. They never could take the baby anywhere without me in vision, to make sure they didn't swap my child out. But let's go on this one.
Just a month ago, Japan was at a turning point in its entire nation's history. Japan was a moment from defeat. As you can see, this is a video explaining the growth of Islam and the Pakistani community in Hokkaido-san, Japan-san, and illegally constructing mosques, praying in public, and the local people are terrified.
They're trying to literally put money in to take over. And there's a part in here where they're going to play it too, where they stated that they put millions of dollars into Japan. They converted one person that found out that person wasn't even Japanese. It was a person on a visa. which is comedic as hell. That they
Oh,
spent.
you're saying about Islam trying to move in?
Now,
They're trying to move it. Why do you think 53
Yeah,
ran?
good luck with that.
They're trying. Yeah, in Japan, no, it's not going to work. You're going to see some samurai shit going on soon. They're going to be like, shink, shink, shink. The Yakuza's going to come in and be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. No, and the Yakuza will probably be the heroes of Japan at that time because they will stop this.
Well,
And
not
they
to
will
mention the fact that Japan is you have to understand, Japan is a
Sure.
very old country, and it has very set in its ways.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Be proudful and honorable, let alone your type of people, and there's only so many of you. And sadly, a girl, and part of this has been talked about, the 16-year-old girl got raped by a Muslim man, and he thought it was perfectly fine. And it's disgusting. Japan doesn't play around, though. You get in trouble.
This is almost a 2.5 hour thing.
I know. Just little skits here and there. And mainly the beginning is what we're talking about. It's not. It's It's just most of this beginning part. He's getting to justify it, like most of the stuff we need in that. The rest of it is drama of other YouTubers, which we don't need.
Foreigners have made people feel relatively unsafe on the streets of Japan as of late. Now, when I think of Japan, this is what I think of. I think of samurai and Muslims. That's the first thing that I think of. Yes, we're going to be extra racist.
Oh, when I think of Japan, I think of anime and samurai and ninjas.
The doubling Muslim.
I know he's just messing around. He's cracking a joke of they're not supposed to be Muslim, and they're trying to say that they're trying to become Muslim. No, some of these women aren't. Those aren't hijabs that those Japanese women are wearing, though. That's a certain thing of culture depending on the weather.
Think if it's raining.
Yeah.
In a decade.
But the 110 miles thing,
probably
that's the worrisome.
Now,
you know, a lot of them. This is the guy I was talking about. He raped a 16-year-old in Japan and thinks it's okay. And he's one of those Muslim guys. Like that picture of that guy right there. What is wrong with this? Japan, I feel bad for you guys that they're trying to do it to you too. They're doing it to us. I've witnessed it. I lived in Dearborn. It was terrifying. I didn't know if someone was going to stab me or not. I had to stop several guys from raping women. I caught one of the white vans trying to abduct women and got the guys arrested before the cops became, how can you say, not working for the city anymore. That they work, yeah, they work under Sharia law now. They don't work under the actual law. Especially when you explain certain things in law, they have to answer, and they're not answering.
Trump may not get his man after all. I'm talking about former FBI Director James Comey. There are a bunch of ways the perjury case against him could just fall apart, and here's the latest. U.S. Magistrate Judge William Fitzpatrick has ordered prosecutors to turn over secret grand jury records in the case. He's accused the feds of a, quote, disturbing pattern of missteps in bringing their case against Comey, and he wants to see the receipts. The judge ripped into President Trump's hand-picked U.S. Attorney Lindsey Halligan for what he called, quote, fundamental misstatements of the law, and said he noticed unexplained irregularities in the grand jury transcript. Here's one of the several examples the judge cited. After the grand jury opted not to proceed with one of the charges, Halligan basically wanted a do-over. Her timeline suggests that she wrote out a new charge, directed the grand jury on the law that it violated, sent them to deliberate, and then received their approval, all in 7 minutes. The judge said that that's simply not enough time for all of those things to occur. Now, Fitzpatrick...
No, not within that time limit, but I think that there's something missing in there. I'd have to look at that because that's not all that I heard.
The problem is the whole case has been handled badly from the get-go. First of all, the woman in question is not a legitimate prosecutor for this job. She wasn't.
What is she prosecuting?
James Comey was being charged with perjury, if I remember correctly. The problem is that this entire shit show, they're basically allowing the case to be dismissed. They're basically handing the dismissal to this guy.
Isn't James Comey the FBI agent that tried to that ran for the past was working recently?
The problem is that James Comey, whether he did anything or not, that's the problem. The problem is that the prosecutor that was chosen to do this is just destroying her own case and is basically handing the dismissal to James Comey's team.
Okay, that's dumb. That everybody needs to have the proper person for this. The person has to be a proper for looking at what they're looking at. They need to have the proper information and everything pulled up. This is really, it just doesn't make sense for some of it. It seems like there's information missing, or they're doing this on purpose because they're trying to protect each other because maybe they signed a contract or made a deal or a pact with somebody about something they shouldn't have done. And it sounds really creepy.
And irregardless, it's just like, if from what I've heard is that this woman is an experience, and she's basically just destroyed the case. And what makes it worse, there's statute of limitations. If they don't get him for right now, it's never going to happen. That means no matter what happens, he cannot be charged for the crimes he's being charged with now.
That's insane.
There's statute of limitations.
Yeah, this is like I said, like there's some things going on that just don't make any sense. But let's go on to this next video. Yep. This is what's happening in Dearborn, right? Yeah, that person right there. Attacking people. This guy, I've actually sadly know some of these people from Dearborn. I know that they're a lot more racist and messed up. And that they're trying to antagonize this stuff. Surprisingly, the people in those blow-up suits, they're actually helping direct shit. That's the problem.
A second-class citizen is what Christians are in the majority of Muslim countries. Dimmies. You're the one giving the orders, Mr. Mayor. These guys definitely want to do something about it. Their business. Look at them. These guys are business. Good orders. I'm done.
Yep, right there. Because he got pepper sprayed, he got assaulted, he got punched in the face, he got attacked, all just for protesting. He should not have been attacked and whatsoever. There was video proof of it, numerous witnesses. Cops didn't do a thing. I literally just watched it. It's disgusting. The second you even raise your hand, or if they falsely accuse you, the cops come right up and they're about to arrest you. And then he finds out the one cop saying, "Oh, I can't leave my post," goes off, walks, leaves his post. They lied, they attacked, they assaulted. They're doing certain tactics. This is disgusting.
I think the cross is a little much, but
the whole point is that people need to push back. I think it was a little too much as well, but at the same time, the concept is they need to do something because other people were protesting in their own crazy manners. I think blow-up suits and the upside-down American flags and stuff is a little too much. But,
it's just like America is founded on the principle of every person is allowed to believe in whatever they want.
Need to represent
into whatever they want.
This is your main thing.
But within the letter of the law. For example, if your religion says that I'm allowed to sleep with underage girls, that's not happening in America. No.
Yeah, but that's why they want Sharia law, because in Sharia law, it is allowed. They're women.
The problem is the Sharia law does not supersede American laws.
In their religion, in the Quran, women are secondhand citizens. They are a half a vote, one individual by themselves. They're only worth.
That works in Islam and it works in your countries. It does not work here.
They need to go back to their countries for this. Back in their countries, they look at it in the 1980s and 1970s. It looked almost like our country. It was good. It was nice. It was smooth. But then they brought religion mixed with law. You're supposed to separate your church and your state for a reason.
Because when religion mixes with the law, it always ends in disaster. The Christians learned that during the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
And during the bubonic plague.
And they fixed a lot of it, and they've corrected it. That's what you're supposed to do in your religion as well, though, is you're supposed to refurbish and check out your religion and question things. And it goes the same thing for both sides of like the Jews did it right, and Christians have done it right lately. They've gotten better. You're supposed to upgrade. You're supposed to learn. Islam's their book? No. How it was written? No. Anybody that knows the history will be pissed. All right, is this the Japanese leader with the Chinese leader? What's going on here?
Watch it.
Gone wrong in relations between China and Japan. Just last month, Japan's new Prime Minister, Sanai Takaichi, and Chinese leader Xi Jinping agreed to keep their ties stable, despite long-standing
they hate each other.
between the two countries. Some 3 weeks later, relations between the two Asian neighbors are nosediving. So what happened? It all started when Takaichi suggested that Japan could respond militarily if China moved to take control of Taiwan by force.
What's wrong with that self-defense? Taiwan is in direct order of being defended by China.
Well, the problem is that Japan is the thing is, from what I understand, right, is that Taiwan does deserve its own sovereignty. I'm not arguing that. China does not have the right to invade Taiwan, just like Russia doesn't have the right to invade Ukraine.
But they do. That's the problem. That's what's going on right now. Is that China has been doing this for a while, trying to push and poke and prod. And America has told them to stop. Japan's telling them to stop, and everything else. And when it comes to their leadership, everything, that's a part of diplomacy. At the same time, it's on both sides. Japan, I'm on their side. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, they're mentioning it too. It's like, yeah, Japan and China don't really like each other. They didn't like each other before World War II. They didn't like each other before World War I. They didn't like each other for thousands of years.
Well, yeah. And the thing is that the Japanese, it's a similar thing with what Taiwan is. It was thousands and thousands of years ago that the Chinese separated off onto an island, which became Japan, and they became their own species of people over time because they were landlocked, alone, no one else, just breed and survive.
With very little resources.
Yeah. So they had to go through a thing thousands of years ago prior, and that's what Taiwan's going through. And Taiwan was the original Chinese leadership that got kicked and exiled, and they made their own place. Now they have their own stuff stabilized, and China doesn't like that. And they don't acknowledge it. And you'll see interviews and videos of them not acknowledging Taiwan as Taiwan. It is China to them. Same thing when they went to Hong Kong. They did the same thing for them. But do we have any more videos on that, or?
No, I think that was the last one.
That was the last one.
Well, yeah, we got the one that I showed that I wanted to talk about a little more was it's just explaining the concept of the aggression, the dangers of this stuff. And like, I don't hate Muslim people. I don't trust them though. I've known them. I've been friends with them. Some of them I was really close and buddy with. Some of them I got them hooked up with their wives, or I hooked them up or covered for them at times when it came to work or being their buddy and gave them that chance to finally go on that date with that girl they always wanted. Like, I was there, I was their homie, I was their buddy. But once it started going into religion and they showed me their religion, I read their stuff, they read it to me and translated it to me as well, explaining to me and then telling me they're supposed to lie and lie to you and everything until they get what they want. They're supposed to act like they're under you and subservient until they get into power. And once they get into power, they make you bend the knee and they strike your neck until your head comes off. It's in their book. And then their book, they talk about Allah and the fiery throne with fallen angels all around him and fire everywhere around all the condemned souls. That's hell. And the same thing goes for marrying 6-year-old, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, and everything else and stuff like that, and having young brides. That's pedophilia. Muhammad was a pedophile in that way, and it's disgusting. Honestly, he wasn't a prophet either.
Honestly, I just cannot wrap my head around how they can justify touching a child, especially when the child
has low intelligence,
not even had their first period yet. It's just like I can understand in some regards if the childs have their period, so that means they're of breeding age. But
that wouldn't be a child. That would not be a child, though.
But first of all, that wouldn't justify it because
still wrong.
It's still wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I can kind of understand it, but on the other hand, those kind of people who have any sort of sexual identity for a 6-year-old needs to get the fuck out of this country.
That's just wrong. If you have any kind of thoughts like that in any kind of manner, or you're trying to do something like that, you need to never do that kind of stuff. First off, secondly, leave this country if that is what you believe in, or if it's in your religion to do that kind of shit. That's wrong.
Even better, get off this fucking planet. Go find some other planet far, far away from me.
I'm big against those type of people. Like
the soul system is not big enough for people like that.
It's not. They're not good people. If you can harm a child in that kind of way and smile after, you're not a good person. I don't care who you are. That's disgusting.
Or worse, having people
every inch of my body if I can. I will stand in front of anything, a train, a vehicle, explosive bullets, it doesn't matter, just to protect my family.
Honestly,
these people
I think the worst ones is not the person who actually does the act, it's the people who actually enable them to do the act. I think are the worst people.
It's the concept of the manipulation that I was explaining. In their book, they justify it with lies, with manipulation and information that's incorrect. They try to state that they're the first and they're the main religion, and that if they'll destroy all the rest of the religions, they will be the only religion. Then they can lie all they want and make up whatever they want. And the thing is that they believe in harming people. They believe in hurting people. They believe in women being second-class citizens and being covered up completely and only seeing their eyes or just their face. And if they see or show even a bit of their hair, they get beat half to death or raped in public. And it does happen. And it's been happening more. New York, holy crap. That one Madonna guy is not even actual mayor yet, or is going to be at all. And all the Muslim people, that were like 1 million there, are attacking people like crazy. Jews, women, anything. There's numerous rapes. People aren't stopping it. They're videotaping it now. It's disgusting. Oh, I'm just going to stop here and get views and watch. Instead of stopping the woman or from being harmed by this guy, stopping the guy from raping the shit out of her or killing her or beating her to death in front of everybody. No, they stop and they video it. It's like the memes I've been seeing lately where it's you fall, no one's around, then it's you fall, people try to help you up, then it's fall, and everybody's videotaping you. And they're not helping. You got hurt, and they won't help. That's the era we're in right now. And it's disgusting. They'd rather videotape and record a bunch of people having horrible things happen to them than showing up and aiding. Usually, when you get a camera on you, you're like, oh, crap, I got to leave. I don't want people to know it's me. That's how it would have been. Not these days. Now that they want to justify it, they want to show
it's also the simple fact is like a lot of people were like, but I think we're game.
Yeah. Nonetheless, you got the politics issue with the Democrats and Republicans, such as like how my shirt is. I'm an intelligent person that believes in it's not a sports team. There's not just two sides. There should be at least a third party. It should be a trifecta at least. If you're gonna have parties at all, then there has to be a limit in a law of 3 at least. Period. So you should have your Republicans, your Democrats, and then you have your purple party. Purple People Party. For the people, by the people, of the people. It's in a yin and yang effect of red and blue mixed together makes purple. Red, white, and blue still make purple. It's just a different shade. But it's like a violet purple, it's called. It's still purple. Nonetheless, it represents the proper way. Instead of a forgetful elephant or a corrupt donkey, you have a brave, free American bald eagle. And that's something you need more of instead. On that note, every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. to around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Rolling to Die. That's right, the Rolling to Die, the real Rolling to Die. No fake, no copies like the ones that have been popping up in the past year. We have been around for over 3 years plus. We are Rolling to Die. We are also sponsored and ran by DJ Thunderbase here for his custom music while you play D&D with all of us.
So, Henry, what is going to be our game this week?
This is going to be hopefully seeing the wrap up of our Blood Saints for the Undead Queen. Berlin just transformed into the Blood Skeleton Dragon, and it's time to fight her. And she's trying to hold off long enough to make the undead dragon reawaken out of the egg. And if that happens, I don't know how long you guys might survive. You don't have a cleric on your team. The only one. He may join, he may not. I'll let you guys know.
No, Kordak's dead. Remember?
Yeah, I'm talking about Zenta.
Aha.
We also have the Grey Mercenary Knights, GMK, for the CEO of the Chaotic Era Odyssey. This is for our combat performance, our stunt performance work for movies, as well as acting, as well as voice acting. And also, we do our own cosplays. We do custom stories as well, and uniqueness. This is where we start off with our brainstorming before we head off to this, our Chaotic Era Odyssey. The world is chaotic. It is the new era, and this is our Odyssey. And we will show you more as we progress, as this is the head umbrella over all of our stuff. Next after that,
and making everything possible for your chaotic minds, and also for all music production and everything about that. It is Sunday Bisu Productions, which brings you DJ Thunderbase, the Chaotic Minds, and also brings Thunderbase Bash. But don't forget to join us every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of The Chaotic Minds. Once again, I'm Devontae Ewing, aka DJ Thunderbase, saying thank you and good night.